Hi, I'm David Wigener. Welcome to my YouTube chess channel. Thank you for visiting. I hope you enjoy this game. This is a bit of a struggle. So here we go, let's get into it. I'm playing a French player actually, from France of course. So someone from France on chess.com, Blitz, 5-minute chess. H3, E6. So, nothing new under the sun for my play. Now why I play a5 here is I want to prevent b4. So if I don't play it, then white could choose to play b4. But by playing a5 now, I prevent b4 because it will actually be an embarrassment to white very shortly, because after pawn takes, I can literally play knight takes here. Or I can just play this, which is threatening pawn takes pawn. Pawn cannot capture because of rook takes a1, which is no good for white of course. So I play a5 with this in mind. Now comes queen f2. So this is quite a long struggle, so I do not want to take too long on these moves that are still kind of opening moves. Queen c7, maybe bishop a6 is better, but I don't know. Now I'm actually defending my important central square here, but also my central formation here, which is the e pawn on e6. And also swinging into aiding g5 breaks, which I'm just going to do anyway. So if white captures here, that would not really worry me. It might worry a lot of other people, but it doesn't really worry me. But if I think about it, it could worry me. I'm wanting to capture this soon, and other things too. But I would have to worry about maybe the queen sneaking in here somehow, like this, and taking on g5 and queen h5 and all that sort of thing. But it might be airy fairy tale sort of stuff, because white would be having to look after this e pawn as well. But there may be tactics here amongst here. My opponent played d4 on move 14. I'm just joking. I don't know what move it is. Now comes a point in the play that you might say, were forced to play what I played. I played here not f g4, but rook g4. As if I play f g4, to be rather blunt about it, then this would invite from white f5, which would be quite a nice opening up of my position at white's favour. So anyway, I didn't play that. I went rook g4, already intending that after bishop h3 I was going to play this move, because I now get the white squared bishop, and the white squared bishop is just a positional sacrifice here, or a strategical sacrifice, if I can be allowed to use those words in chess, because a lot of people do not think I'm tactical. I mean positional or strategical or anything like that. But I play h5, and this gives me, even though it's not a very good bishop, the white square bishop, against the white king. but this might not amount to anything, and in chess terms it doesn't amount to anything for about another 60 years of siege warfare. So here comes bishop g4, hg4. Now both players have got an open h-file to operate rooks and queens on, but I've got one rook less than white because I've just sacrificed it, really. So here comes the bold initial obvious attack of my opponent, thinking I'm going to flick a rook on the h-file and then probably put my queen there as well. So I go king g7. Now if I go rook h8 here now, then white would probably get rid of this rook straight away and then look to move their queen to the h-file, and eventually their rook on a1 would try to join in the encounters on the h-file. But I do not play that. I merely play here captures and then knight f8. So I'm sort of protecting just about all the major entry squares for a queen and a rook looking ahead in time. Not that I can see into the future, but this is the sort of thing I'd be doing if I was white. So here comes king g1, knight g6, bishop e3. Note how good this bishop is, really. Now I play a move here that even might be seen or deemed as positional as well. I can see that rook c1 is coming for white. Not that the opponent of the computer will let me play that, because it'll whistle. So I go, well, I want to position my bishop on c4, maybe for quite a while. So I go a4. So now when rook c1 comes, I can place my bishop onto c4, masking the attack on my queen. And also, the pawn cannot move here because of obvious reasons. A b3. So if here now, because of a4, I've restrained, not blockaded, the move b3 from happening. I've sort of said, well, you know, you do that at your peril. And meanwhile, I've also got the threat of taking this and then marching these pawns up here if I so wish, or just leaving this here planted like that and taking the pawn anyway. So that would not do for white, so they do not play that move. They play queen d2, fair enough. Now just bolster up the bishop on c4, which could indeed entertain an idea for a knight to go here or to go here. But white doesn't play that. They play these knights all over the place, trying to possibly confuse me. So what I said before is that my campaign stops from being on the king side where white's king is, and I start to campaign on the east side, the queen side, and continue onwards. Now, what say you I play rook c3 here? Can you see what my opponent would play? And if I drop the rook on that square, the computer will say instantly what the move will be for white. So the move is for white here after rook c3, a blunder, is queen takes rook on c3. So if we show you, it didn't show you yet, so it's queen c3. And note that if I try to take back, I just lose a rook. And so thereby white would be 2 rooks and 3 pieces to my 4 pieces. So I'm terribly losing there. So I would have just lost a rook if I did that. So So I play queen b5. I'm just not interested in anything else at this stage. And here white threatens again queen a3, which would probably more than likely be in white's favour if we were to check this with the computer, because if bishop takes queen, rook takes queen, bishop takes rook, and there I've got 4 versus 3 pieces, so 4 versus 3, and white would have a rook in their favour, better and equal pawns. So that's what white is threatening here. So I play rook a2, just not trying to do anything devastating here at all. And also, of course, preventing queen b2 and so forth because of rook b2. So my opponent plays rook b2. Now, inexperienced would play not that move, cancel. It's just an inexperienced might go bishop here thinking, yay, once the rook takes the rook, I just take the queen and yay, it's all good for me. And then I take the rook afterwards. But that would not be the case, because white would merely be met with this. I mean, black would be. But this might not be too bad. It's got back to an equal state, but it's not really what I want anyway. I'm not wanting equality. So it's not too bad, but it's not exactly what I play here. So I play rook back to a4. It looks like I'm chickening out. I am, that's correct. King h2, queen a5. Now I'm sort of threatening this now, but there's nothing really going on here. If queen takes rook here, then I play bishop takes queen. Okay, so it's no good because the bishop takes queen, not queen takes, because then white is going to be favourable material advantage. Rook f7. Now, did black need to have white? Did white have to play that? Maybe not. Maybe they just got tired of being an exchange up and thought, I want to get some sort of equalness to this. So they go here, thinking that they're going to launch their queen into b7 and be able to demoralise my king. Is this correct? No, it isn't, because once queen b7 happens, I just merely go knight e7. And notice that the rook on the back rank of white is more than likely going to have to be exchanged, because the rook cannot enter, which it would like to be able to enter here, and then white would be very happy. But the king's in the way, and the rook's on the back rank behind the rook. In front of the rook is the king on h2. So takes this, takes this. Now, this is sort of getting, knight h4 happens now, I believe. Yes, that's correct. And I play something that is alright. I still, there's probably better, but I play bishop d4, more or less threatening, forcing bishop d4, other than knight g6 is another move that white could play here. And if the king takes, then the queen could take here and try to get perpetual check, which it probably would do. So I'd probably here, as white, bang my knight to g6 and think, well, this is going to be a draw. I'm just going to capture the, it might even be better for white. But they play bishop d4. I play queen d4. Now, if knight g6, now, too late, I hear you say. Good, well done. Because I just go queen f2, and I soon thereafter, I just play queen f2, We'll just show you. I'll have a look just to make sure. Queen F2 and King H1. Queen here, King here, Queen here. It's not very good, is it? King here. I can have a lot of fun, but I can't get this knight, because this knight's defending the G6 pawn. So yeah, we'll carry on with the game, and then that'll be the end of the session. I make sure I keep my king off the same square as my queen. Eventually. And my opponent exceeded the time limit. Thank you very much.